the webinar will be recorded and the link will be sent out to all the participants. You can watch it again. You can share it on your social channels with your friends. I'm going to pass the ball over to Isaac. Isaac, you're there?
I'm here.
Okay, wonderful. So just before we start, what I am going to try to do is I'm going to mute everybody except for Isaac during his presentation. And at the end of the presentation, we will unmute people, and there will be the opportunity for Q&A. So any questions that you have, you'll be able to ask them. You'll also be able to type in questions during the presentation by Isaac in the chat over here. I'll just initiate it, and everybody should be able to see that over there. I'm just going to mute everybody at the moment. All right, Isaac, so I'm passing it on to you. We're being recorded, and the floor is all yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. It's a bit of a hectic day. I'm in Panama City now, part of the roadshow. It's hot and humid over here, so don't be too jealous. And but I guess it's better than being freezing cold in New York. So we decided to start a series of webinars to give people the opportunity. I see some people on the webinar right now. I think have seen me doing one of these presentations in one of the cities around the world. But some people did not get the opportunity. So I will kick off this webinar series by presenting VeganNation, and then in the coming weeks we're going to have different people from the company presenting different aspects, different activities of what's going on in VeganNation, in the vegan world, and the blockchain world. And we appreciate everyone joining and participating and everyone's support along the way. I gotta say, it is pretty tough to be vegan in sorry, someone said that they can't hear anything. Is that a problem on my end?
I'm getting a perfect feed on my side. I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, so I will continue. One of the most awesome things about my job is traveling the world as a vegan, finding the different vegan communities, and it's truly inspiring. People ask me, and I'm going to do this freestyle. I didn't really fully prepare for this today, but I'll just give you some of the stuff on my mind, and then I'll go into the presentation itself. So people always ask me, am I optimistic? Or some people ask me, why are you optimistic? And obviously, people that follow the news, I try not to listen to the news too much. Whenever I want to get updated, or once in a blue moon, when I talk to Craig, which is on the webinar, I ask Craig what's going on in the New York Times. But besides that, I really don't watch the news. But people always ask me, why am I so optimistic, or what makes me optimistic? And I think the most amazing thing about what we're doing in VeganNation in general, and about my journey personally, is I really get to travel the world, and I meet the vegan community all over the world. Some places you find more people, some places you find less people. But it's truly inspiring to see so many people around the world that are busy and devoted to change. I think it's the first time in history, in my opinion, or at least in recorded history, that masses of people and the numbers are staggering today. We'll get into it in a few minutes in the presentation, but the numbers are staggering by the number of vegans and by the growth of the vegan community. And I think the essence of someone being vegan, and we always say that being vegan is not just food, it's beyond food. And I think waking up in the morning as a vegan, busy with trying to change the world and making the world a better place, it's truly inspiring when you encounter people from around the world trying to do the same thing. Some people live in their own community and they're not aware as much about all the activity going around the world. And for me, I get to interact with so many activists around the world, and it's amazing. Just over the weekend, I was in Miami, meeting with a group in Brazil that are trying to save tens of thousands of acres in the Amazon, and they're asking for support from VeganNation. And just there's just so much going on around the world. Yes, on one hand, you can read the news and watch one of the news outlets and kind of get all gloomy and weary and nervous. But I believe that the power is by the people, and that's one of the most exciting things about blockchain technology, that blockchain technology basically is bringing out from the technological perspective what the vegan community has known for years, that if we work together as a community, we can make some major change in the world. And what blockchain is doing is connecting the power of communities to technology and everything that comes from it. So those are some of the reasons that, number one, I'm very optimistic in general. And secondly, this is why I'm so excited about the combination and the connection of veganism and blockchain. So when I travel and I speak at tech conferences, blockchain conferences or tech conferences in general, people always, not always, but usually people invite me to speak about the topic blockchain for good, because I go to a blockchain conference and you have a bunch of different blockchain projects going on, from fintech to gambling to social media to different kind of stuff that are trying to use blockchain, supply chain companies, and people invite VeganNation and me to speak about the topic of blockchain for good. And I think the title is a bit wrong, because blockchain is good. We just need to make sure that we advance the technology and we really put it to work on the good projects. But blockchain is good. As a technology, I believe that blockchain is the future of making the world a better place, a more productive place, a more efficient place, and a more transparent place. So for those reasons, I believe blockchain is good. Just like with many other technologies, at the beginning, you will find some discrepancies. You will see some people that are some of the first adopters of newer technologies, and those are people that will maybe abuse it a little bit or use it for different reasons. But I believe that if we all work together, and as I tell people in the blockchain community, if we all work together on helping the good projects succeed, then we will see the full potential of blockchain and what it can do to the world. So blockchain for good, transforming the world. As I said, I believe that blockchain is going to transform every aspect of our life as we know it, and going to change every every aspect of society, of the economy, as it exists today. Hold on, it's my first time doing this. I'm trying to see how I change pages. Here we go. So for the last decade or so, we live in what's called a trust economy. Trust economy basically brought the concept of shared economies to the world, where people around the world can join, meet one another with less interaction of a central governance system, and people can meet one another. If I have a car, I can start giving people rides, regardless of what I do throughout the day. If I have an apartment on the beach, I can start renting it out to tourists. There are lenders that do peer-to-peer lending, commerce, and so on and so on. And as a result, basically, we live also in a reputation society where everything is rated these days. When you get into Uber, you rate the driver, you get out, the driver rates you, you go into Airbnb, to couch surfing, to restaurants. Everything we use, most of the loans today are done basically, as we call it, the codification of reputation. Most of the banks, most of the lenders, most companies in general have your reputation codified to their specific needs, and the system works around the world. We always look out for the 5-star rating from every service provider, and so on and so on. Blockchain was called by The Economist, I think, in 2000 and probably 13, 14. It was called the trust machine. The idea of blockchain is that the power of the community, as we call it, the trust economy, we can eliminate all the central governance in the middle. That means that blockchain came to bring people together and to eliminate the need of that central system between me and you to okay transactions and to do certain process. So let's say someone wants to lend me money. Instead of that person depositing the money in the bank, you have 10 bankers recording every transaction. Everyone pays the fees. I want a loan. I need to go to the bank. I need to start talking to 10 bankers and pay all those fees. With a blockchain as the trust machine, we don't need that, just for example, that bank in the middle to okay every transaction, because blockchain technology can bring us to the level of trust. How does blockchain bring us to that level of trust? So to put it in simple terms, and as you guys know, I'm not the CTO of the company. You'll have opportunity to in one of the webinars to learn more about the actual technology, but a couple of weeks ago I was in Toronto and I had to explain to two 70-year-old people what blockchain is. And that's my favorite thing, because I think blockchain is a very simple term without getting in too deep into the technology. So the idea of blockchain is transparency. Transparency brings a very high level of verification and trust. If we all sit around the table and we have 17 people around the table, we have 17 glasses of water, then we can all agree there's 17 glasses of water on the table. There's no need for someone to come and okay that transaction. It's fully transparent, everything is on the table, and we can all see it. That's what blockchain is doing to technology. That's what blockchain is going to do to the supply chain, to the economy, to the financial system. It's working together as a community in full transparency. So by people coming together, a block of chains or a chain of blocks, which is basically any community in the world, any group of people that come around a common idea, a common message, a common goal, can decide, okay, we're going to work in full transparency, and we will okay every piece of information that goes on to the platform. So blockchain is going to eliminate all the middle people. That's why you see Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan was talking against cryptocurrency forever until he woke up one day and he actually asked forgiveness, because big banks are scared of blockchain. It's scared of what it's going to do to their business model. I think in the States we pay, I just read something over the weekend, I think we pay something like $30 billion in the United States for overbilling on banking fees. That is just overbilling. And banks that are pocketing those $30 billion are pretty nervous that blockchain is going to eliminate a lot of that. Second thing is allowing safe peer-to-peer transactions. If I want to do a transaction with people around the world, I don't need to go through the big institutions to okay a transaction. I don't need to go through Airbnb. I don't need to go through Bank of America. I don't need to have 10 accountants going over every part of what we want to do. Public ledgers, using digital reputation. The whole idea of the reputation economy, of the trust economy, will reach a new level where we will really be able to trust those 5-star rating systems, or what it becomes into the future. KYC process. One of the most difficult things today is to authenticize the identity of people around the world. Blockchain technology, and we already see it with all the ICOs that were done around the world and many other kind of transactions that you're able to verify in countries that they don't even have paper documents or government documents, like places in Africa. They will be able to use blockchain technology to their benefit and eliminate all the paperwork. Me personally, my background is from the real estate business, and I always say and it's the love of my life. I love construction, but now I found my passion in veganism. But if I would still be in the real estate business, I would be putting some aspect of the real estate world onto the blockchain. Blockchain is going to eliminate so much of the headache going through a real estate transaction. If you can imagine the paperwork that is done, the time and paperwork and the manpower that it gets to that you need in order to okay a real estate transaction, from buying the land, recording it in the city, signing with all the contractors, getting the mortgage from the bank, filing building permits, all the kind of insurance that you need in order to build a building. All that can become much, much more efficient with the blockchain technology. Another big example that gets a lot of attention today is the supply chain. Every supply chain in the world today, for example, so Walmart and IBM are working. They have the biggest blockchain use case right now in the world, where they're putting their supply chain onto the blockchain. Usually for any product to get from point A, the end user, takes about 12 stops. Those 12 stops are all still with papers, and the stuff gets lost. The money that is lost every year during those 12 steps is going to be incredibly efficient using and fully implementing the blockchain technology. So the outlook and the opportunity for blockchain is truly incredible to me. The biggest question is, people are asking, who's going to be the first mass adopters of blockchain? And that's a great question. And that's what I try to answer in some of my talks and meetings around the world. Blockchain is still a foreign idea for most people. More people are familiar with a direct result of the blockchain technology, which is cryptocurrency. And also cryptocurrency has many challenges around the world. People that follow cryptocurrency knows that I think all of the cryptocurrencies have been on the downside lately. And everyone's asking why. If it's such a great idea, why is it not going up? If they're great companies, why don't we see more people adopting it, or more government regulation? And it all comes down to the question of any new technology that comes out, who's going to be the first mass adopters? Who's going to go out of their way to try and use a new technology and make sure that it goes the right way? For me, the answer is who's going to be the first mass adopters of blockchain and through that cryptocurrency is the vegan community. Because creating trust in the world's most skeptical community is a key. We as vegans, people are always amazed at me. I was in Miami the other day, and I was sitting down with someone. I actually went to someone's house, and she made me a hot tea, and she wanted to give me some cookies, and then she said, well, I have nothing in the house to give you. And then she started looking at the labels of everything in the pantry to see what she can actually give me. We go out, we're always trying to figure out, okay, what can we eat? We're very skeptical at every food that we see, every product that we see, because we know all the problems that are associated with it. So when blockchain will answer the daily challenges of the vegan community, we're gonna change the vegan community forever by bringing that trust into the community that needs it the most. With that in mind, we came up with VeganNation. So VeganNation, me personally, I'll just give you a fast background, and I know maybe I'm going on a ramp over here, but I feel comfortable doing it over here, and I'm just going with it, so forgive me. VeganNation came for me from a need, from a necessity. I turned vegan, personally, I turned vegan 3 years ago. I turned vegan the same day, me and my sister, and it's been a wild ride ever since. And when I went vegan, I realized, okay, this is a huge community. It's very challenging. I travel the world, and I got to find something to make veganism easier, more accessible, more affordable to people that choose the lifestyle that I chose. So at the beginning, I thought, okay, let's start a vegan restaurant chain in the United States, and that way, whenever I travel, we'll be able to find good vegan food in many places. And I was actually working on that with my partners, Yossi, Schneer, and Nati, and we were planning on starting a vegan restaurant chain in the United States around college campuses. And then last August, I was on a cycling trip through the Alps, and I was starving. I was on a cycling trip with my ex, and after hours, long days on the bike, we realized we're starving, and this is in the middle of the Alps. There's no vegan food over there. They put pork fat on anything they can. And then I realized it doesn't matter how many restaurants we're going to open in the United States or how fast we're going to grow, we're not answering the daily challenges of vegans around the world. And that's when I realized we're such an incredible community. We got to come together as a community and create real change in the world. I realized right away that, and I started learning the numbers, and the numbers are staggering. About 300 million vegans in the world, but yet most vegans, yes, you have some big cities, London, Berlin, Tel Aviv, New York, Miami, LA, but there are 300 million vegans that live around the world. A lot of them are not in big cities, and we're still working as small individual communities instead of coming together as one of the world's leading economic powers. The numbers are incredible. 300 million vegans, about 50% of them are between the ages of 16 to 34. A high percentage of them are college graduates. We are the strongest economic power in the world, but yet when most people think about veganism and about vegans, they think about their crazy cousin or that hippie nephew or niece that went vegan. But people are not thinking about veganism as economic power, and that is what VeganNation is here to change, to create and to unite the vegans into a world economic power. With that, we're creating the vegan coin to be the economic driving force behind VeganNation. A nation is as strong as its economy, and an economy is as strong as its currency. We're bringing these three things together to create a truly cruelty-free economy. Cryptocurrency is the natural evolution of veganism. We understand, we woke up 50, 60, 70 years ago when the term vegan was coined, and we decided, okay, we're not gonna kill animals. Then we decided we're gonna stop eating animals. We're gonna stop eating animal products. We're gonna stop wearing animal products. Then it went to, okay, we're gonna be activists about it. Let's go out and try to change the world, try to change our neighbors, our family, and try to do better to the world. Now is the time where that evolution can come to the financial system. Why is vegan coin so important to veganism? Why is cryptocurrency and vegan coin a vital part of taking veganism to the next level? This $20 bill in my pocket that I'm holding, I can be the biggest vegan activist in the world, and it's very possible that this was at a McDonald's yesterday, and it's going to be at a butcher shop tomorrow. Money, as we know it, does not fit the vegan mindset. Now, throughout history, we never had a choice. We had to pay either with bits of gold or with the money as we know it today. Number one, in the last couple of weeks, there's more and more news articles around the world that actual money contain some animal fat in there. Some of the ink and the glue contain some animal fat. That doesn't fit the vegan mindset. We know that we want transparency when it comes to our food. We know we want transparency when it comes to the products we're wearing or the products we buy. We need transparency when it comes to money. Money is one of the most powerful things in the world. The idea of cryptocurrency is to bring transparency to the economy. Vegan coin from day one till the end for the rest of my lifetime, because cryptocurrency will live forever, I will be able to track every vegan coin that I spend. the businesses I give it to will be able to see what people do with it, what vegan organizations do with it, how the vegan coin is spent around the world will be totally transparent. That level of transparency will bring a new level of responsibility and will bring a new conversation to the financial community. So VeganNation stands on three main pillars. The first one is the way that the idea of VeganNation started in our head, which is creating a food sharing platform. So during that time on the bike in the Alps when I was cycling, I realized, okay, there's no vegan business around me. But I saw all these beautiful houses on the mountain, and I said, there's got to be a vegan person living in one of these houses. And if they would know that I'm cycling right by their house, I'm sure they would love to host me. I hope they would love to host me for a meal. And I would definitely love to meet a vegan living in the middle of nowhere, learn about their lifestyle, learn about their challenges and how they come over. And I realized we got to have a way to connect the entire vegan community in creating a decentralized restaurant chain. We can't be complaining all day, oh, there's no vegan restaurant around me, or there's not enough vegan restaurants around me. There are vegan people around the world, and so many of us, for sure myself, I love cooking and I love hosting people. And I would love to be able to help every vegan person that needs, or any person that wants to see what good vegan food is, to be able to share that passion and that knowledge. So we're building a platform like Couchsurfing for vegan food, where vegans around the world will be able to post the events, post a dinner, post a lunch, or whatever they're willing to cook. And people from around, people that live in the city, people that are visiting, whoever it is, will be able to find a vegan person to host them for a meal. The second thing is vegan e-commerce. So being vegan is beyond food. It's a full lifestyle. It's the fastest growing lifestyle in the world today, from clothing to shoes, cosmetics, different accessories. We want to make sure that everything is done without animal cruelty, without animal products, and so on and so on, as friendly to the environment as possible, as some people as try to be as sustainable as possible. VeganNation will be a marketplace for any vegan vendor around the world to come sit on the VeganNation platform and offer their vegan products. And for every vegan person, regardless if I live in a big city like Tel Aviv or I live on some small island in the middle of nowhere, I'll still have that wide access to the different vegan products it takes to sustain the lifestyle. The third one is content. Content, the same thing. For someone that is vegan to someone that is looking into veganism, it's hard to find good quality content on our own platform, social media, without seeing all the craziness going on in the world. And basically, the VeganNation social platform is what brings everything and what ties everything together, which is a social marketplace. It's a social place for people to meet, share quality content, recipes, ideas, blogs, news, anything we can imagine around vegan content, and as well as the vegan products, talking about it. When we find a good product, we can recommend it to people. So bringing these three things together really all tie into the essence of bringing a community together. You bring a community together, you get all these three things, from good food, amazing dinner conversations around the table, to quality content, and to find any product we need around the world. Blockchain, I truly believe, is going to take veganism to the next level. As I said, the two basic ideas of blockchain, why it's going to transform the world and why, to me, it's such an incredible thing, is the transparency and validation. Those are the two most important things for the vegan community. I always like to quote Paul McCartney that said that if the world, that if slaughterhouses would have glass walls, the world would go vegan. Blockchain is that glass wall to the corporate world, to the financial world, to the supply chain world. So blockchain is truly going to change veganism and make it easier, more accessible, more affordable around the world. We're sitting down with companies like IBM and others to develop the ability to put the entire vegan supply chain onto the blockchain, where between blockchain and the power of the community, we'll be able to track every vegan product and to bring it to a very high level of certainty that things are actually vegan. With that, I will conclude with the famous hashtag that is going around the world already. We are VeganNation. I am VeganNation. The definition of a nation is a group of people coming together around shared ideas, shared values, and what I believe is a shared outlook to the world, a shared outlook and optimism towards the future of the world. And I'm truly optimistic by that when we bring together this amazing community to work together, the sky's not the limit. We can really accomplish anything we want and live in Tomorrowland. I will open it to, I'm assuming, Mike, we're going to open it to for questions now for a few minutes.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Before I'll take questions for about 20 minutes, and I apologize. I would love to take as many questions as possible, but it's a very hectic day here in Panama City, and traffic over here is insane. So to get from place to place will take forever. And so I will have to cap it at 20 minutes. But as I said, we're going to be doing these things on a weekly basis, and we'll try to answer as much as we can.
All right, great. I'm unmuting everybody at the moment, so if anybody has questions, you can kind of ask them now. It's I would say just maybe mention your name or even write in the chat if you'd like to answer a question. Then Isaac, you can go ahead and reply. So the floor is open.
Hello, over here.
Hi, who's this?
Yeah, this is Deepak calling from India. I'm one of the ambassador. And
can you just speak a little bit louder, Deepak, please?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me well?
You got to speak louder.
Can you hear me well now?
I hear you better, yeah.
Yeah, sure. So I'm one of the ambassador for VeganNation, and great listening to you again, Isaac. I already had a chance to listen to you before. Always great to see your passion and energy, you know. It's really an inspiration for all of us. So keep it up. My question is regarding the cryptocurrency. You know, whenever I go out and talk about VeganNation with the same passion as you do, one of the resistance that I always hear in case of India is that you know people have negative reception for Bitcoin, and
Right.
Another challenge is that they think that the value is going to fluctuate, and it's another kind of Ponzi scheme like Bitcoin.
Right.
Which of course, you know, I try to explain all different benefits that comes out from VeganNation. But the real question is, number one, how confident you are that the vegan coin's value is going to be stable, and number two, how to effectively deal with the confusion that people have with Bitcoin for vegan coins.
Great question, and it comes out a lot. It comes up a lot. I hear it in every meeting that I meet vegans or I meet investors around the world. I was in a meeting in New York a while ago, and someone asked me, someone said, well, so he asked, how much is the vegan coin going out for? And I said 50 cents. So he said, well, he said, okay, I'll think about it. And then he called me back later and he said, well, why don't I just wait a little bit and buy the Bitcoin for 50 cents? And obviously I laughed, but it goes, and I told them right away, even if the Bitcoin goes to 50 cents, I still believe that vegan coin is a much better currency and a much better token to buy, because who is this just wrote this? Can you please, the person who just wrote in the chat, can you say your name? And I'll explain why. First of all, we already have VeganNation, Vegan Coin already has hundreds of vegan businesses around the world that at day one announced that they're going to accept vegan coin as a method of payment. No cryptocurrency in the world had that when they went out. 99% of cryptocurrencies still don't have that. So right off the bat, VeganNation is way ahead of any other cryptocurrency in the world. When Bitcoin came out, first of all, I do not think that Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. Bitcoin basically revealed the blockchain technology to the world. It has a lot behind it. It has many issues with it, which is unrelated to the true essence of what it brought to the world, which I believe is what affects its price fluctuation. But Bitcoin, when it came out, and for a very long time, did not have all these businesses around the world. So vegan coin is a very different cryptocurrency. Vegan coin is a cryptocurrency that is designed around the vegan community. We are endorsed by some of the biggest vegan organizations in the world, from PETA to Sea Shepherd, and so many more. Let the Animals Live in Israel, and the White Lions in South Africa, and so many amazing organizations around the world and vegan businesses around the world, because we understand the essence and the idea that is behind cryptocurrency, and we want to bring these values to best serve the vegan community. So what I always tell people, and this goes back to the question of mass adoption of cryptocurrency, that's true. Most, if not all, cryptocurrencies today are being used as total speculation. There's very little behind it, and the ones that do have companies behind it did not have yet the opportunity to manifest their vision. Most of these companies are being built as we speak. So cryptocurrency still has a way to go even for the real companies and the big companies that actually have something substantial behind it. There's still ways to go until it becomes something really of use and something that people can use on a daily basis. So I do not look. I barely ever check the prices of cryptocurrencies on a daily basis. I just hear it from people that I meet with are telling me every day the Bitcoin is at this price, at this price. To me, it really doesn't matter what the rest of the cryptocurrencies are doing. I truly believe that vegan coin is going to bring something very different, and is going to bring normalcy to cryptocurrency. I'm open for more questions.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Sagar here. Hello, everybody, and Isaac.
Hey there.
Hi. My question to you is, very interesting three pillars of Vegan Nation, and I definitely feel that vegan coin would be a common thread between all those three pillars, because when any consumer is going to utilize this platform, vegan coin becomes very sensible idea. I just want to know how this is going to be promoted, how people will come to know about this. For example, in India, you know, I am vegan since 4 years, and Deepak, who just asked you the question, he introduced me with this platform few days back. None of my vegan friends still know about it. Like in my circle, I'm talking about. I am part of
Right.
few vegan groups. So, what is the marketing plan globally as well as India specific? Because India is a huge market where veganism needs to spread.
Right.
A lot of it's like number one, number two in beef export or leather export or poultry. So it's a huge place where this needs to spread.
Absolutely. So I will answer the question. So first of all, one of these coming up webinars, I'm not sure, I didn't see the schedule, but one of them will be with our CMO, Mike, that started off this call. And he will walk everyone through the marketing and the campaign efforts as we're going. But to give you a general answer, first of all, yes, the market in India is one of the biggest ones in the world, if not the biggest one, and we're going to do a lot of work over there. In general, we are currently in the private sale of the ICO, so we're meeting more with institutional investors, with the big organization, making sure that we have a very strong base and we have a strong infrastructure of the best and the biggest vegan organizations, as well as the different institutional funds, to make sure that we have the right foundation to go out to the public with a new currency. As we go into the public sale and we go out to the public, then we're going to ramp up and I know this question comes up a lot from different people around the world on when is PR going to pick up and when is marketing going to pick up. And the answer is, as soon as we hit our soft cap, then which is 10 million, we're going to go out on a marketing campaign and get everyone to know about VeganNation. As I said before, we have the endorsement and support of organizations like PETA, like Sea Shepherd, and so many others. We have a couple of Hollywood vegan celebrities. We have Jenna Dewan. We have Jerome Flynn from Game of Thrones, and the list will grow slowly but surely. We're in talks with many other vegan celebrities in order to make sure that everyone will know about VeganNation. To go out with the marketing campaign right now, today, is a bit early, because we want to make sure that when people know about VeganNation, they will be able to actually go on to VeganNation and buy $100 worth of vegan coins. So when we're ready for that, the marketing campaign will go out. To talk about the vegan community in India specifically, I was in Toronto a few weeks ago, and it was it was called the World's Religions Conference, where once every 5 years, religious leaders from around the world come together and talk about different stuff. And I went there to meet specifically a few religious leaders from India, which are vegan, and we're in talks with them. They love the idea and the concept of VeganNation and the vegan coin. So I believe that, again, in the next month or two, we're gonna be able to make some waves in India as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
There are a few in the chat, Isaac.
Yeah.
So Heather Carr asks if the true value is the application of the vegan coin. I'm just going to run through some of the questions over here. My question is how businesses can use the vegan coin. Deepak also mentioned that he had come across a MakerDAO who claimed to have the most stable value cryptocurrency. And Colleen asked if I'm South African. I am Colleen.
Mike is South African. Can you hear it on his accent? Of course he is. I'll run through these questions real fast. The true value of the vegan coin is the vegan community. It's not necessarily VeganNation. Of course, we're building a platform which I truly believe is going to change my personal life and the lives of vegans around the world by being able to find everything we need in one place with the help and the power of the community. But the true essence and the value of the vegan coin is the vegan community. We are the strongest consumer base in the world today. When we start showing it to the world, when we're not shy about showing it to the world, that's the true value of the vegan coin. Next question, how can businesses use vegan coin? So we have a page on our website for businesses to join the VeganNation ecosystem, and any business around the world that wants to join can go up there and with a very short process actually join the ecosystem. The answer is vegan businesses around the world, we already have a bunch of them that announced that they're going to accept vegan coin as a method of payment, from juice bars in Los Angeles to a restaurant here in Panama to a vegan hotel in New York, Spain, to the biggest vegan supermarket chain in through Europe, Vegans, the largest vegan shoe seller in the world. So vegan doctors from South Africa, vegan lawyers, different gyms, yoga studios. So the idea is that every vegan business that wants to strengthen the vegan economy and wants to take part in this will accept vegan coin as a method of payment. As far as people that are claiming to have stable coins, the idea of a stable coin is something that has been discussed for a while already. There are pros and cons to stable coins. First of all, one really needs to figure out that our company can really stable its coin, and then the real question is, okay, how are you stabling your coin? If my epiphany or my ideal structure of cryptocurrency, and the reason why I think it's so awesome is not to be tied to something else, to something that I don't necessarily believe in. So to have a stable coin can maybe work for some companies. We have discussed it a lot. First of all, I didn't touch on it on the presentation, but we have an amazing, people can see it on our website, we have an amazing advisory board of top economists and business people from Israel and the world, and we have discussed the option of a stable coin over and over, and it came back to several answers, but to me personally is my true belief in cryptocurrency that we can really create a new system over here, and we don't need to have it tied to something that I do not believe in. I mean, I've heard of so many ideas of cryptocurrencies backed by gold, diamonds, and whatever you can imagine. So that's that. Next question, green paper, how much is to fund vegan entrepreneurs? Yeah, actually, to Deepak's question about VeganNation helping different vegan ideas, vegan initiatives around the world. So the timeline is just by traveling the world, I meet so many amazing vegan entrepreneurs, and the ideas and the visions that some of us have are truly incredible. And as we grow, we're gonna do as much as we can on a regular basis to help stuff that we that we come across. I'm already involved in trying to help a few organizations, a few vegan startups. As I mentioned, I met some people from Brazil that are trying to do some amazing stuff for saving the Amazon, and we're gonna, as we have these things, we're gonna announce it to the community. Someone asked, are we offering incentives for vegan businesses to join? The incentive, and Mike can talk about it in his webinar as far as the marketing campaign, but there's a few incentives for vegan businesses to join. First of all is to join the community, to reach a much broader audience, to reach a global audience. For the first 3 years, we're not charging any fees of any transaction or any product sold on VeganNation. There's no, and this is true to every vegan, to every cryptocurrency. Businesses won't need to pay credit card processing fees, chargebacks, holdbacks, and all that kind of stuff. So the financial benefits to businesses, there are many, and then obviously the ideological perspective of building a cruelty-free economy. Can customers buy? So people will be able to buy the vegan coin with other cryptocurrencies, with the Bitcoin or Ethereum. Those are the only two that we're going to accept. It's going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and fiat, which every person and their local currency. Someone wrote, I was invited to join as a VeganNation ambassador, but I didn't have a follow-up. I will definitely send me an email to my personal email, and I will send it and make sure that you are followed up with. Craig, is the pre-sale going to launch December 1st? We are probably not. We are, and I'll make this statement now, even though I did not really finalize this internally, but we're, as I said before, we're getting closer to the soft cap in order to go out to the pre-sale. We're very close. We are in talks with several funds that are going to get us over that line of the soft cap as soon as it happens. Hopefully, in the very near few weeks, we're going to be able to go out to the public. And the reason is, I will elaborate on this. I know we just hit an hour, but I will expand on this a little bit more for the simple reason that I want people to understand this. It's not just a PR standpoint of you reach the crowd, the soft cap, you're going out to the public. Going out to the public pre-sale and accepting money from the masses is a huge legal responsibility, and personally, it keeps me up at night to accept $100 from someone or $100,000 from someone. It has an enormous responsibility, and doing it with the masses is even a bigger responsibility. And we want to make sure that when we do that, we are standing in all of our guidelines and bylaws, and we're able to fully deliver to the public in the best way possible. And that's why we are going to hit the soft cap before we open the sale to the public. I'm 18. Who's this that wrote, I'm working on making a vegan marketplace in India? So first of all, just be happy, don't be sad. Be happy because you're doing something good to the world. And don't be sad. I always tell people that VeganNation is not competing with any vegan business around the world. We're not competing with any vegan business. We're not competing with any vegan organization. We are building the financial and the technological platform and infrastructure for everyone to unite together. Every vegan business will be able to come and work with VeganNation. We're not working against each other. We need to direct our energy and direct that vegan power to change the world. We're not going to be fighting with each other. We are building it's like we're building the highway for all the vegan businesses to come run on the highway as smooth and as best as possible. That's why we're able to unite so many of the top vegan organizations around the world. They're not looking at it, oh, if he signed up, we're not going to sign up. No, we are building the infrastructure for everyone to come work together. So if you write your name and send me an email, I'm happy to be in touch with you. We're going to be working together. So no reason to be sad, just be happy. In general, I hope you should always be happy. Heather's writing, when the full platform and coin is launched, will a person be able to buy into their account for a small investment? Yes, absolutely. People will be able to transact between themselves. And again, the day that we launch that vegan coin is going out to the public. It's in the public's hands. We have we won't have control about over it. It's going to be up to the community to start using this, to buy with it, sell with it, transact with it, help each other, donate to vegan organizations around the world. Endless opportunities of what vegan people can do with the vegan coin as soon as it goes out. With that, I will conclude it for today. I really had so much fun. It's been amazing. It's been amazing, and after today, I'm sure we'll be doing this once a week. And I love this. So peace and love to all, wherever you are. Keep up the good work. And yeah, this is recorded. And peace and love.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Isaac. Everybody else, we will be sending out an email with the link to download the webinar along with Isaac's PowerPoint as well. And stay tuned. As Isaac said, we'll be having weekly webinars on blockchain, on VeganNation itself. So we look forward to seeing you all soon. I hope you all have a good day, afternoon, and evening. Bye all.
Thank you.